Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska. The time has finally arrived. We're just about 1 minute, 10 seconds away on the big scoreboard clock away from kickoff. Number 5, Malcolm. The Clippers, 9-1 on the season. Number 4, Fillmore Central. The Panthers, 10-0. Well, we had a great game last weekend, Ron. Last Friday night, it was way colder than this. I mean, the wind was just lethal. It probably felt like it was in the upper 20s. But now it's kind of a beautiful night out here. And Fillmore Central pulled off a kind of a barn burner of a win over Wilber-Claytonia, 16-6, a really low-scoring game. A lot more lower scoring than Fillmore Central is used to. But Malcolm, this team is different. They have a very level offense with their rushing game and their passing game. Ron, I wanted to ask you before we start, what does Fillmore Central got to do to win?
Well, they need to be able to stop the run, because I think if you make Malcolm one-dimensional, that could pose them some trouble. So.
Yeah, well, we're seeing the defensive turnovers are going to be big as well. Like Ron said before, these two teams do really well defensively, especially Fillmore Central. We saw some of that last week against the Wolverines of Wilber-Claytonia. Before we go into that, though, looks like Malcolm is going to kick this one off to start to Fillmore Central, receiving from right to left. Malcolm is in their white shirts with their blue pants and their white helmets, their road uniforms. They got those blue numbers too. Fillmore Central in their usual all black with purple and white numbers. For the quarterfinals, about to get started here in Geneva, Nebraska. One team with one loss, the other team undefeated. And here we go. Malcolm boots this one deep. It's caught and bobbled at the 12-yard line and brought all the way across the 20. He'll eventually get brought down to the 27. So a good return by Fillmore Central to start the game. And here comes the Panthers offense, who has done super, super good this season. They got a passing game led by Trevin Stasinis, 597 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And then the rushing, the load gets carried by Trevor Roach and Luke Kimbrough. Roach with 901 yards, Kimbrough 669. Let's not forget about Stasinis. He can rush too. He's got 630 yards. So first down and 10 for the Panthers. Let's see what they got up their sleeve here. Stasinis going under center. First play is a handoff up the middle. Looks like Trevor Roach gets maybe about a yard or two. He'll go from the 28 to the 30, and it'll be second down and 8. But, Ron, I wanted to get your input about the defense. I know you talked about it a little bit before, but let's see which defense can get going first.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, at Fillmore Central, they didn't give up any points against Hastings St. Cecilia a few weeks back, and I thought that was pretty impressive. You don't just play Hastings St. Cecilia and not give up any points.
Yeah, it's impressive defensive clinic right there. Fake the handoff, Stasinis to roll to his right now as he's getting pressured and unloads one over the middle. It's almost intercepted. There's a flag on the play. It was almost picked up on there by Carson Frank, the junior. His brother plays on the baseball team, the same baseball team that won the state tournament last season. So his family definitely is a really athletic family from the looks of it. This is going to be pass interference on the offense. It looks like it's going to go on Fillmore Central after the incompletion. It was almost picked off. And the question of the day is Malcolm going to decide to decline this or not? If they accept it, it'll be second and long. If they decline it, it'll be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, well, Fillmore Central is certainly acting like they're going to accept the penalty, but still no official word yet. I would imagine they would.
And it looks like they are going to accept the penalty. So instead of it being 3rd and long, or I'd say rather 3rd and medium, by this estimate, it's going to be 2nd and long now. It's going to be about a 2nd and 15. Or excuse me, not a 2nd and 15, 2nd and about 20 yards here. 2nd and 23 officially. Ball all the way back at the 15 here. They got to get all the way to the 38 to pick up the first down. Stasinis under center with 2 backs. Going to hand it off at the end of the day to Trevor Roach. Cuts his way upfield, the sophomore. He gets about 2 yards or so to the 17-yard line, maybe the 18. Either way, Ron, it's 3rd and long, and this could be a really good momentum boost here for Malcolm, who's playing on the road tonight, and they really need to shut down this Fillmore Central offense early.
Yeah, they certainly do, and, perfect opportunity here with the 3rd and 21 coming up, I believe, here. 3rd and 20, actually. But, yeah, definitely a good opportunity here for them. Let's see if they can do it.
Stostenis to pass. They send 4, and getting pressure and getting there and sacking him down is Malcolm. Getting in there and sacking him is Luke Schmidt, the senior. There's a lot of seniors in this game for both teams, and none of them want their last game to be tonight. And now it's going to be 4th and this is probably going to be a 4th and 32 here. I mean, this is a long way to go. They're all the way back inside their own 5 almost, and they have to punt from their own end zone, Fillmore Central.
Here's a stat for you. That sack they just got there, only their 4th of the year. They only came in with 3 sacks. So
wow,
that is a huge sack for Malcolm here in this game.
Well, the Clippers have 2 return men. High snap on the punt. Boots this one from 9 yards deep in his own end zone. It bounced at the 35. It's taken at the 40. Inside the 30. Running inside the 20. Stiff arms a man. All the way down to the 10. Excuse me. What a return by Malcolm there. I believe on the return it's Carson Frank. Or excuse me, it's actually Logan McGreer. Either way, what a return. They get it all the way down to the 11 officially, but officially it is a 29-yard return on the punt. And wow, what a start for Malcolm. This is picture-perfect start here, Ron.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting your first possession of the game at the plus 11-yard line, essentially, that's about as good as it gets right there for a playoff game, let me tell you.
Oh, Logan McGreer he's starting, or excuse me, Maddox Meyer is the starting quarterback. He goes under center and hands it off on the first play, and trying to cut up field and get some yardage is Dalton Amen, the senior coach's son. And he's going to get about maybe 1.5 yards. So we'll get inside the 10, down to the 9.
All right, tonight's game brought to you by Geneva Home Center, Weaver Repair in Geneva, Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, Weaver Pharmacy in downtown Geneva, and the Geneva Milling Company.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 8 for Malcolm, trying to start strong here. Maddox Meyer is also a senior QB, passing for over 1,500 passing yards. Hands this one off to Amen, cutting up the middle and getting into the end zone. Touchdown. Dalton Amen gets in for 6. The coach's son makes a big impact. He's got his 7th rushing touchdown of the year, and Malcolm strikes first here in Geneva. A little bit of a shock for this home Fillmore Central crowd.
Yeah, it certainly is. They're probably not used to scoring, getting scored on right away this early in the game. We're not even 3 minutes in. And right now, at this moment, they have given up exactly the same amount of points that they gave up all of last game, Fillmore Central.
Well, there's a chance they could score more here. They're going for 2, Malcolm. Well, like Ron said, they only gave up 6 points against Wilbur-Claytonia. Malcolm scored 6 points here early in the first. See what they go for here. Rolling right, looking to throw here is Meyer. He's going to go to the corner of the end zone and instead throws it out of the back of the end zone and incomplete. So 1 drive in the book for Malcolm, fueled off of a 29-yard punt return, bringing them down inside the red zone. They score off of it with a short rushing touchdown for Dalton Amen early in the first quarter. 9:05 to go. 6-0. Malcolm leading over Fillmore Central on Ole Red. Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska for this Class C2 high school playoff quarterfinal matchup. Winner of this one takes on either 8-seeded Kearney Catholic or 1-seeded Norfolk Catholic next week on November 10th. Well, Malcolm certainly is happy about that start. They force Fillmore Central to a 3-and-out with a pass interference call. They punted from their own end zone. It led to a 29-yard punt return inside the 15 down to the 11, and they scored off of just a few plays, a rushing touchdown by Dalton Amen. They failed in the 2-point conversion, though, at 6-0 in favor of the Clippers. Fillmore Central catches this at the 15-yard line. He's going to bring it all the way across the 25, and he's ended up going to get tackled at around the 32-yard line. Good return there by Dylan Gawecki, the senior. Well, Ron, not the start Fillmore Central was looking for, but they certainly have a lot of time to make up for that start here on this next drive. Yeah, certainly, and, they probably don't play from behind very often in this season as well, given that they are undefeated. So we'll see if they can run the ball a little more effectively here on this possession. Yeah, well, they've won most of their games this season by an average of over 30 points. So they're not used to trailing very often this season. Stostenis gives it to Trevor Roach and around to the left side. And he's going to get brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 5 on the play brings him back to the 28. What a play by this Malcolm defensive line. They all got in there and made the tackle on Roach. And Trevor Roach is kind of a lifeline of this team. I mean, if he doesn't do good, Fillmore Central can definitely feel that effect.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as long as this Malcolm defensive line is able to get pressure on those run plays, it's going to be a little bit of a long night for Fillmore Central in that department.
2 backs again for Stossinis. He's under center on 2nd and 14. They flip it out to the outside for Luke Kimbrough. He's going to go to the left side. And once again, he gets nothing except maybe just a single yard to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 13. And I think it's safe to say they might have to throw the football here. We'll see, though, on 3rd down and long.
All right, tonight's game brought to you by Cumberland's Fashions in Geneva. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit gocurrency.com for details.
3rd down and 13 from the 30-yard line. Stossinis, as they send for Malcolm, steps up, pressured, dumps it off instead. It's caught, but no more. He gets no more than to the 32-yard line. I believe on the catch right there, it's going to be Cade Cooper. Either way, it's 4th and 10, and another punt having to be punted here by Fillmore Central.
Yeah, Malcolm basically just kept everything in front of them on that pass, and that's why all the quarterback could do was just check it down and hope something good happened.
Well, during the Doan Coaches Show on Wednesday, one of the safeties on the team, Brendan Knapp, who got 2 interceptions in the last game, he said the one thing that you always make sure not to let happen as a safety is just get rid of the long ball opportunity. As this one's punted and caught at the 35-yard line, and here comes Logan McGreer across the 45. He's brought down to the 49. So we'll stay here. But, Ron, what I'm saying for that is Malcolm's doing a phenomenal job not letting Fillmore Central go over the top, which is what we saw a little bit against Wilbur-Claytonia that Fillmore Central was able to do. But, unfortunately, they missed some of their passes, even though they did have a guy wide open. But, yeah, I think Malcolm's just stopping the running game early on in the drive, and then they're defending the long ball, which is what Fillmore Central has to go for on 3rd down and long. So we'll see what happens. Malcolm starting at near midfield, the 49-yard line. 3 receivers to the left here of Meyer. He's going to hand it off instead, trying to get the edge on the left side and not really getting much. He cuts all the way across and ends up getting brought down. Amen. Nowhere to go. Brought down by Trevin Stossinis. There's a flag on the play. This looks like it might be in the vicinity of holding.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, too. Really, the running back, I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like he didn't really have a whole lot of room to run there. So
he didn't have a hole, and then he tried to cut it all the way back across the field and ended up getting brought down. Nice play by Fillmore Central. The question of the day is it's unofficially a loss of 4 yards. Ooh, so it's a block in the back. So the PA announcer said it's a block in the back on the Clippers, but the referee pointed towards Fillmore Central. So is it? We don't know what the penalty is officially yet. Will they decline it or will they accept it? Because it's a loss of 4 after the play.
Yeah.
And I just can't quite tell what the call is here. So I think is this going to be on Malcolm?
Yeah, it should be on Malcolm
and
if it's blocked in the back.
Yep, so it's going to be a block in the back. And it'll bring them all the way back to the 39-yard line, so it would have been a loss on the play of 4. Instead, it's a loss of 10. It's still 1st down and 20, though, for Malcolm at their own 39. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I think more than likely we're going to see a run here, maybe a screen pass, but certainly something safe here on this 1st and 20, I'm sure.
6:40 to play in the first quarter. The sun has fully set here in Geneva tonight. Here's Meyer handing it off to Amen, cutting upfield and finds a hole, but he ends up getting wrapped down at the last second. He got out to the 46 and ends up picking up about 7 yards. Nice tackle on the play, I believe, getting in there to make the tackle was Stossinis again. He's kind of been all over the place tonight, whether it's been on offense, he is the QB, or it's been on defense.
And I feel like as a quarterback, I feel like it'd be a little bit tougher to play two ways as a quarterback because you really don't want to get yourself hurt because you're the main guy. 3 receivers
to the right here of Meyer. He looks downfield, and he's going to take a shot over the middle. It's deflected, and it's picked off by Fillmore Central. Intercepted by Jackson Turner. And just like last week, the bleachers are shaking as people are jumping up and down. Fillmore Central gets another turnover this season. What a season they've had defensively, this Panthers team. On the season, that's their 11th interception, Ron.
Yep, and their 16th turnover forced overall. So, yeah, I mean, we talked about it. This is a team that can force turnovers. And, again, this is playoff time. You can't afford to turn the ball over too much.
Yeah. Well, that's their 11th pick, like I said before. And Fillmore Central starts at the 42. Stossinis handing it off. Kimbrough bouncing out to the left. And once again, it's another loss on a run play by Fillmore Central. Malcolm gets in there and the Panthers lose a yard. It'll be second down and 11. But what a play by Fillmore Central. That ball, as Maddox Meyer was trying to sling that one across the middle on a slant on a crossing route, it was deflected at the line of scrimmage and picked off. So I think that ball would have gotten to the receiver if it wouldn't have been deflected. Nice play there at the line. Those are what those defensive linemen are there for as well, to get in the backfield and get sacks, but also deflect that ball if it's thrown low. Stossinis on second and 11. He'll pass as Malcolm sends 4. Throws it to the far sideline. Incomplete. Tweedy was the intended receiver. Jaron Tweedy, the junior, wide out. And it was incomplete. So it's third down and 11. Oh, this is just... I mean, the defense is coming in clutch here as it's 6-0 Malcolm leading it over Fillmore Central. But so far this offense, which definitely last week struggled to find its rhythm early. It definitely got going in the second half. But against Malcolm, I don't think you can allow your offense to struggle early on. You got to get some points on the board. Now it's third and 11 from the 41. 2 receivers to each side of Stossinis. Malcolm sends 4. Quick pass. It's almost picked off. Cade Cooper was the intended receiver, and it hit the hands of Maddox Meyer, but it's incomplete. So Meyer threw a pick and almost got one right back on defense. Fourth down and 11, Ron. Another 3-and-out. The third 3-and-out of the game for Fillmore Central so far.
Yeah, and this one's big because it came right off of a turnover, and normally Fillmore Central is able to capitalize on those turnovers. We did see that happen a couple times, I believe, last week against Wilbur-Clatonia. Unable to there, and this Malcolm team, they just gotta, they're playing with house money here. They know not very many people expect them to win, even though they only have one loss because they're going up against an undefeated team in Fillmore Central.
Cade Cooper boots this one away, and on to return it is going to be Logan McGreer. He bobbled it a little bit, keeps a hold of it, comes across the 20, the 25. He's at the 30 on the far sideline. He's up the far sideline across the 40. He's across the 50, and he's going to end up being spun down at the 49-yard line. We'll take a quick break as Malcolm's offense comes back onto the field after this on All Red. Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska. Malcolm versus Fillmore Central. 6-0 Clippers on top. First play of the next Clippers drive is a handoff to Amen, the coach's son. The fans are hoping there's a flag. Amen gets inside the 40 to the 39-yard line on the near sideline, and there is a flag on the play, and this is going to be holding on Malcolm. So that's why the crowd was reacting the way they were. Must have been that obvious. I didn't see it personally, but I don't know. It's not my job to be the ref. But one thing, Ron, that I wanted to say about Fillmore Central's offense, that they have negative yardage on their first three drives overall. They haven't gained a single yard of offense.
It's definitely not something they're used to. Definitely not something their fans are used to either. And right now, Malcolm though, they just got a big holding penalty there.
Yep.
They're back to 1st and 20, just like they were on their last possession. They just went 3-and-out on that one. So we'll see what happens here.
Well, I know I say it every week. I said it a lot last week. Penalties are killers, especially in the postseason.
And turnovers as well.
Yep. When you're playing a defense as good as Fillmore Central, you want to get as many big plays as you can get. And if they're called back due to penalties, that will hurt you desperately. Meyer now on first down and long. Decides to run it himself. Meyer on a design quarterback run up the middle. Gets about 2 yards out to the 45. And it will be second and about 18 yards.
Tonight's game brought to you by Crete Area Medical Center, Wilbur and Friend Medical Clinics, Smith Auto in Pawnee City. Learn more at smithauto.ne.com. Friend Fertilizer, your Ranky dealer in Friend, and Glenda and Jonna Austin, your shelter insurance agents in Fairbury.
Well, thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us out tonight. And thank you to everybody listening at home. This Old Red playoff special. It's been a fun season of high school football, but can the Panthers extend their unbeaten season? Play action. Maddox Meyer, QB1, rifling one down the near sideline. It's caught by Logan McGreer. He's inside the 10. He's inside the 5. Touchdown. Logan McGreer strikes on a deep passing play. Didn't matter that they got that holding. They made up for it immediately. And Malcolm extends their first quarter lead.
Yeah, that was just a straight downfield shot right there along the left sideline, their left of the sideline, that is. And just were able to hit it right on the money.
Well, Logan McGreer is wide receiver 1 in terms of the stat line this year. He's got 548 yards. That's his 9th touchdown catch of the season. And for Maddox Meyer, that's his 19th touchdown, or passing touchdown of the season in that quarterback spot. What a start for the Malcolm Clippers. They were beat last year in the quarterfinals. A little bit more on that after this play. They want to make it farther this year, and they'll go for 2. Fillmore Central looking like they're going to send blitz, and they are. Design run for the quarterback, Maddox Meyer. He goes to the right side and dives in as he was getting tackled. He's in for the 2-point conversion, and it's now 14-0 in favor of Malcolm, leading it over Fillmore Central. Late in the first quarter, 3:39 to play. We'll be back for the next Panthers offensive drive after this on All Red. Welcome back to Geneva, Nebraska. I wanted to mention about Malcolm's postseason history. So last year, Malcolm got an undefeated regular season for the first time since at least 2004. They were really just expecting to make it really deep in the postseason, and they were defeated, upset in the quarterfinals. They were upset to Oakland Craig, 28-20. So they had their season end in a dramatic, heartbreaking way, but they're back again. They want to make it farther. Meanwhile, Fillmore Central haven't made it really this far in quite some time, and both of these teams actually haven't made it to the semifinals of the state tournament in over 20 years. So yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it certainly has. And here's
a pooch kick high up in the air, caught at the 31-yard line by Fillmore Central. They'll get this one at the 36. Didn't look like the best contact on the kick by the Malcolm kicker, but good field position here for Fillmore Central. I'll let you continue your thought, Ron.
Yeah, I think on that kickoff, I think they were just trying to catch him by surprise.
Yeah, maybe they were.
Yeah, so
good coverage by Fillmore Central on that. But about the playoffs, so both of these teams over the last 20 years or so, they've both struggled to be at 500. They've been a little under 500, but as of recent, these two teams have bounced back, and they're both in uncharted territory. They want to make it farther. Here's a flip to Trevor Roach on the near sideline, cuts upfield, and gets all the way to the 48-yard line. That is an 11-yard pickup, the biggest rushing gain of the game for Fillmore Central. They needed that desperately because Trevor Roach is kind of a lifeline for this offense, and he has gotten nothing, him and Luke Kimbrough tonight.
Yeah, that's one of the keys to the game. Get your best running backs going in the running game, and that way you're able to throw it when you want to instead of throwing it when you have to. And so far, when they have thrown it, they've had to throw it pretty much this whole game so far.
Kimbrough and Roach are in the backfield. Here goes Luke Kimbrough, powers his way up the middle into Malcolm territory. He's all the way down at the Malcolm 43-yard line, which is a pickup of 9 yards. So he goes from one side of the field to the other. And now this running game for Fillmore Central starting to figure itself out. You know for a fact that Coach Eberhardt definitely probably spoke to his running backs and said, all right, guys, 2 drives in the books. Let's put those in the rearview mirror and let's get going here. Luke Kimbrough again powers his way into the secondary. He's all the way down to the 35. It's another halfback draw right up the middle, and it works out for another 5-yard or more gain on the rush. First down at the 35.
Yeah, and going back to what you said about Malcolm losing in the quarterfinals last year, that might have made them, got them a little bit of juice coming up here early in this game. They wanted to get out to an early lead, force Fillmore Central to get a little bit uncomfortable, but now it seems like Fillmore Central's found their footing a little bit.
Here is the handoff. Trevor Roach getting into the secondary. Inside the 20, fumbled the football. It's picked up by Malcolm at the 15, and running out of bounds at the 23-yard line on the fumble recovery is Cole Tiedemann, the junior. So Trevor Roach got a massive pickup, got inside the red zone, and got it punched out from behind. Oh, what a huge, huge play defensively by Malcolm. Another turnover forced by the Clippers.
Yeah, that's our second one of the night, and, well, that commentator's jinx is real, Kyle. I think there's no question about that.
A little bit. Hey, don't take it too personally. Yeah. We've all been there before in this career, in this industry. But, wow, that is the third fumble recovery of the season by Malcolm.
Oh, wow.
And it comes in a big way here. 2:08 to play in the first down and 10, Clippers at the 23. And here's a handoff up the middle. Running free is Amen. He gets brought down and spun around at the 28, so it's a pickup of about 4 yards or so. So it'll be 2nd and 6.
Near the 28-yard line. We'll call it 2nd and 6.
All right. Tonight's game brought to you by Prairie View Industries, North Highway 15 in Fairbury. Tim Hartley with Hebron Tree Service. Thayer County Health Services in Hebron, Bruning, Davenport, and Deschler. And Western United Mutual Insurance, home office in Wilbur.
Man comes in motion is Tiedemann, the man who got the fumble recovery. Here's the handoff to Amen, the coach's son, into the secondary again. And he's wrapped up, brought down across the 40 at the 42. Nice pickup on that play of nearly 20 yards. It's 1st down and 10, Malcolm. And they're going to play this quick. They're going quick here. They're boosting up the tempo, trying to catch Fillmore Central by surprise. And now Fillmore Central, Gabe Eberhardt has to call a timeout. What a smart play by this Malcolm team. You know, after that quarterfinal loss last season, they have a chip on their shoulder here. And they're looking to extend this lead here as they're almost to midfield, leading at 14-0 over Fillmore Central late in the first quarter of this quarterfinal matchup on All Red. We'll be right back.
Tonight's game brought to you by Southeast Valley Irrigation, your valley dealer in Bruning, Miller Sales in Claytonia, Certified Truck and Trailer Repair in Geneva, and Hilltop Performance and Fitness in Crete.
Thank you to all of our sponsors supporting this game tonight. Quarterfinal matchup, a 5 versus a 4. So we knew this one was going to be even, but Malcolm is looking to just run away with this one early. And they're at the 42-yard line in their own territory, up by 14. Looking to pass and passing it to the outside, flipping it to Amen on the far sideline. It's a screen pass. He'll spin inside the 45, gets to the 46. So it'll be 2nd down and about 5. Nice throw by Meyer. He was able to get that out into the flat to Dalton Amen. Both of them seniors, so they have that senior connection there. Man in motion. And it's a jet sweep to the outside. Logan McCreer coming to the near sideline. Gets across the 45. And he'll end up picking about 2 yards up to the 48. So they're almost at midfield. They need to get across midfield to the Fillmore Central 48. So it's going to be 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Clippers. By the way, folks, Clippers are Malcolm. Panthers are Fillmore Central, just in case. Just wanted to make that certain here at the start of the game. I know that can be a little confusing sometimes, these high school teams. Now it's 3rd down and 4. See what Maddox Meyer has in store here. He's got Brixton Meyer lined up to his left. Man in motion as well, comes from the far side of the near side. He'll give it to Brixton Meyer. He cuts upfield. He's across the 40. And, we got shoestring tackled at the 41-yard line by Trevor Roach. What a big, big shoestring tackle there. And here comes the speed and tempo by Malcolm. They're already ready to run the next play after a 1st down. Man in motion. Jet sweep. Here's the run. McCreer has nowhere to go as he came from the near side of the far side. And a nice tackle there on that play by Carson Ash, the senior.
Well, now that Malcolm is finally not going no huddle here, I actually get to say something. So, but yeah, really nice play there in the backfield by Fillmore Central, and now you got him in 2nd and long. That's exactly where Fillmore Central wants Malcolm, is 2nd and long and 3rd and long. Get them in those obvious passing situations.
Yep, 2nd down and 13. It's a 3-yard loss on the run by McCreer. Came around on the jet sweep, and you know what? They'll let this clock run out. They have no reason to run a play in the first quarter. 0-0's on the clock, 14-0. Malcolm with a surprising and shocking lead over the undefeated Panthers of Fillmore Central through 1 quarter. We'll be right back for the 2nd quarter. This is high school playoff football, the quarterfinals, right here on All Red 99.5.